Here we have a 2019 on a 69 registration, Temsa MD9 Lux, 34-seat executive midi coach. Now, if you ever wanted evidence that it's grim up north, today's the day. It's misty, it's wet, it's cold, and we're in Yorkshire. We're on the outskirts, excuse me, of Wakefield at TJ's Travel, and we're offering this, well, one of my favourite little buses on the market for sale, this little MD9 Temsa. Offside wise, bodywork's all good. Set of wheel trims, it'd be $1 million, but some operators love them, some don't. But yeah, I can't find any issues on the offside. At the business end, Euro 6 6-cylinder Cummins engine that is driven through a ZF Ecolife fully automatic gearbox. There is a housing up there for a reverse camera, but there isn't one fitted. These didn't come with reverse cameras as standard. Coming back down the near side, again, bodywork seems good. You've got a power operated rear door. Now, this was a bit of a sticking point with some operators. I mean, I've lost deals. I mean, reversing back there, you can see there's a TC9 heading towards us. I lost deals to operators who bought one of them. I was better on paper, money-wise, but they wanted a rear continental door. They couldn't get their head around why you needed two doors on the near side and you didn't have any on the offside. Well, it's very simple. They ain't going to go abroad very often, and these vehicles are ideal in inner city environments. And if you're unloading somewhere and you need people on and off quick, bish bosh, they're off, aren't they? I think that's a great idea. While we're down here, I'll show you this. There's a little hot drinks facility that's tucked away behind the last seat before the door. I'll explain why it's there when we get on inside, because it's drier and warmer. Decent amount of luggage space on these. Look, if you get 34 big suitcases, it is a bit like, you know, there's going to be a bit of Tetris going on, but, you know, if you think about it, you'll manage. Now, as we jump on board, which I don't like doing on a day like today because it's going to mucky the floor, but needs must, I'm not a fan of this stuff. And the reason I'm not a fan is what you can see right there. You constantly need to you're better off buying a big roll of this so you can keep replacing it, because obviously where people are constantly treading on it, it wears. But once we jump on board, I'll wipe my feet best I can. We've got 34 reclining seats. This is probably one of the last of the original stock vehicles ordered by Steve Fletcher at Arriva, because he only had two interiors, this one and black and red. And then once they got a new sales manager, Natalie, name escapes me, and she put a woman's touch to specking, and you know, the interiors became a bit more muted and conservative from sort of, you know, from that batch onwards. So one thing I will say though, out of the two available interiors at my time at Cleckheaton, this was my preferred one. You know, I know they said blue's cool, but I think with the grey and that it's sort of a grey blue, I think it just all works better than, I think black and red's a bit more in your face. So personally, this is my favourite of the two. We've got a rear floor mounted toilet. And then back to this little drinks unit. Well, obviously, there was nowhere else to put it, pretty much. That's the top and bottom of it. And these were an aftermarket fitment by AD Systems when they came into the UK. So it's there, not the best place for it, but at least you've got one. There's trays to the seat backs. my memory's now telling me I can't remember how much I told you about the seats. So with said leather piping and headrest, 3-point seat belts are fitted. There's also sideways movement on these seats to give you a bit more elbow room. As I said, trace to the seat backs. We are fully air conditioned on board. And the reason I'm a big fan of these is the 2.4 metres wide rather than 2.55, which it sounds a lot, it isn't a lot, but that amount of difference just makes them a bit more nimble, you know, in narrow spots. You know, they're just a bit more nifty and nippy. And when you get in, you can't tell, can you? Let's be honest. We're wired for DVD. We've got a drop-down monitor at the front there. And the other reason I'm a big fan of these, I think the seating, driving position's great. I think the dashboard layout's fantastic. Everything's just where you want it to be. Dead easy laid out. You know, your CD, radio, PA stuff is all easy to get to. Tacho's easy to get to. Aircon controls easy to get to. Everything's just where you need it to be. We've got lane departure warning and automated emergency braking system. And you know what? They are so nippy, these. They're just like a little pocket rocket. So, you know, I won't lie, and you can tell, I'm a big fan. And you're going to take a lot to convince me not to be. So to recap, we've got a 2019 on a 69 registration, Temsa MD9 Lux, 34-seat executive MIDI coach.